Right, hey guys, we've got some important chats to be had with round results here, and we're going to go through the top sort of 5 or so in the entire league and see where they're at, and look at what they're looking at having for players in round 17 as well. So we got the Hugger clan there, who had an okay average week at 868, and some decent scoring, and in amongst some lower scores there with guys like Crichton, Papali'i, and Fatala Mariner there hurting along with the Burtons and the Garricks of the world, who have been really good of recent time. Very interesting to see here that put McInnes in emergency 6, which was strange. Having Madison out was tough, but I don't know why we're playing McInnes over guys like Savage and also Mam. I understand him being on the bench, but we're still going to play big minutes, so this was a strange one for me. And Barnett being getting a 39 with the lowest score was annoying. But in terms of guys for next week, we have Cook's going to be out, but Mam, Barnett, McInnes, and Madison should be back. It looks like Hines is actually going to play, so we'll have 5 here. And then Papali'i is going to be 6 for round 17. So depending, I think this guy has a fair few trades left. So at most can get 10 playing for round 17. So that puts you in, as people in good stead to maybe make up a few ranks on some of the top guys. But Lucan here had a decent score of 909, I believe, to make up some ground and gets 81 behind, which is solid there. And just having like Tohu Harris and Clemmer was solid there. Cleary is captain, okay. Having Paps getting that nice score in the end, and Aiken 67 was good. But yeah, guys like Barnett and Brown was a tough one on the bench. But in terms of players for round 17, they're going to have 3 at the back there. And then we've got Pap should be playing, so there'll be 4, 5 for Hines, 6 for Papali'i, 7 for Clemmer and Punga. Sorry, I'm not sure. Palga. We'll go with that. For the Tigers there is in that as a looping option last week and picked up Kohler's score, which was fair enough. Yeah, so that's that team number 2. And then we've got number 3 there, Willie Ennis, who's been up there for a long time now, with the 934, so a pretty solid one there. In terms of guys for next week, we got 2, 3, 4 there. We got Frizz for 5, Husey 6, Mam, and Fafita should be solid there. So a decent amount. It looks like most teams are going to get to around the 10 players, which is good. Team values sitting in the mid to high 13 millions, and then you obviously got the couple of top guys in the 14s, which is pretty cool. And then we'll go for number 4 there, Wonko's 883 and a 927. So yeah, a lot of these guys sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 maybe kind of players there, which is again similar to that top team. Sammy Boy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60 and a 7. Went for the Will Kennedy. Very interesting. Yeah, so again, most teams are going to get to around that 10 players for round 17. I think that's a pretty fair way to go about it. And just, yeah, generally have a little look at where you're at. And we'll obviously do a bunch of videos around that over the next bunch of weeks. So, People's Squad, we had another losing week, unfortunately. 859 brought us back from 278 overall back to 352. And the only positive here is the amount of trades we have remaining. So we only used 2 last week, which leaves us with the 9 overall. And I think we can really launch this week. We don't have a lot playing. If Davy plays, I think that gives us 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 currently if Davy plays. So not ideal. We're going to have to use a bunch of trades as well. And there's a few guys that we could target now in this one. So, it's what we're going to do with someone like Karaz. Tohu, I think we've got to hold now. Elliott's like becoming a strong keeper. Sounds like we have to hold him. It's going to be like, what do we do with Taylor May? Karaz, Savage there. Volkman's going to stay. And then it's going to be guys like, hopefully, Garrick's completely fine. What are we going to do with someone like Maxi King? And a Crichton, I think we've got to hold as well. But generally, there's a few trades to be made up and down there. 16K in the bank. There's going to be at least 1 cash out. And then hopefully an upgrade. And, or it's a couple of cash outs this week. But our main thing is there we got Volkman and Moale, who are the cheaper guys. So I personally think only 1 cash out would work here. Whether it's for Karaz, which would give us 272K. To add to our 16, and then we can upgrade, a Taylor May or something like that. Would put us, a guy in the mid 700s. It's definitely something to think about. But generally, the squad performed average last week. Let's be honest. We had King, we had Reedy, who's just been for me. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Papali'i, Crichton, Brownie 38, Burton 38 we just brought in this week, and then Garrick, obviously with the injury he sustained, playing Karaz over someone like Savage or Mam was obviously but we did take Taylor May's score of 46. For those still unsure about the loop, we popped in Davy in the 4 position. We picked up Taylor May's 46. So that is that on the People Squad side. But again, we have plenty of trades to use, and we need to try and push back into that top 300 because it's just been sliding of recent weeks, and very similar with my team and stuff as well, which I'm going to go through my team next. Hey guys, so my team after round 15 was 2118, and now we're back all the way to 2481, unfortunately, with an 841 this week, which is definitely not ideal. And we're sitting with 7 trades left, so 2 less than the People Squad. And unfortunately this week, trading out Euan Aitken was a tough one. We wanted to bring in Mr. Burton this week, and that was the only way to do it. So we picked up negative 30 on that one. Lost a bit of cash on Burton, and Aitken still remains a keeper, which, yeah, I think I definitely jumped the gun on Burt. So it was like, well, if he gets another great game, then he's going to be up another 40 or 50k, and it makes it tough to get him. And Aitken, he has had those big games in the past, but few and far between. He's been averaging, around that 40 mark or just below of recent time. Yes, with some head knocks and things in there, but yeah, that one just didn't work out, and that's going to happen sometimes in fantasy, and the gods are killing me at the moment the last few weeks. Bringing in Reedy, bringing in Papali. As I said, I killed you with Papali 2 weeks ago, and this week as well, and then Burton with the 38. But Penasini with 17 for me was the biggest killer. Having Kohler, having May on the bench, having Kohler in emergency 5, but not having someone to loop him with was the biggest issue there. Bringing in Hughes for 44 was average. Clear with his 54. We've had, thankfully, Joey Manu for 67 kind of saved our score a little bit, but generally around that, no scores over 50, which was tough. So 7 trades remain, but I do have 5 there that are going to be playing this week from the bench. We have 6 with Reedy. We then have 7 with Hughes, and then 8 and 9 with Penasini and Hines. So in terms of me, I could make 2 or 3 trades this week if I wanted to, and get us to around that 11 or 12 playing players for round 17, which would be great. And I think will bring us back under the 2,000 overall rank this week. If we're looking at my bench, I just have the 1 cash out, which I bought in Palacia, which was fine. We've got a few options this week that we could bring in, and we have a bunch of guys to potentially trade out. We've got Kohler there, we've got May, we've got Karaz at that mid 400s to 500k mark. Penasini might be a trade out eventually, but not right now. We could do something with King if we wanted to, but personally, with the real lack of guns, we have Madison that we could probably trade in this coming week, with him not going to be in Origin. So Madison could be the man to trade in this week, and if I do that, it's going to come from someone like Maxi King or Jason Taumalolo if we wanted to play that route. My thoughts around my team, I do need a actual gun hooker. So Cook's going to be needed at some point at 925k. And the question is how we get him. A gun in Madison would be great for this week. But if it's not going to happen, then 2 cash outs would be great. And I could trade down, we could do Kohler, for example. But Karaz might be the man to go, considering Kohler's coming off at 58 and has a little bit more chance to make money in round 18 than what Karaz does, because he's got that 25 in his score now. So that's probably the real question mark right now is do we just do a double cash out? Because I do have the cover now. If I keep Kohler, I could I have that cover for centre and wing fullback, so I could trade Taylor May and Karaz down and then have plenty of cash next week to upgrade if there's any injuries as well, but as well as upgrade like the Kings or something like that of the world, and maybe potentially finally get rid of Reed for the second time trading out. Xavier Savage is another one to think about as well, as a 415 mark that could be traded out, and he might be the one to go rather than going for a Karaz or a May. Something to think about. But yeah, just have a look. As I said, we'll go through a bunch of these videos in the next few days and go over some of the best trade-ins as well as the best trade-outs. So don't fret too much, but I hope this is helping you. Just getting my general thoughts on what I'm looking to do with my side over the next few weeks. So that's my squad there. It's been a pretty tough year, to be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. We're hoping to get into around the 1,000 mark for the end of the season. I think there's a chance we can do that, but a lot of things have to go right from here on in. We do have to bring in the Cooks of the world. Madison's, these types of guys that can average that 60 odd, going on to the rest of the season, hopefully a DCE or something like that. And Hughesy can step up and do really well, for example. But that is my team now, and we're going to head to our head-to-head squad. Okay, so the head-to-head squad lost 9 ranks this week. So we're 115th and now 124th. We had an 888 this week, which is solid enough, right? Main issues, trading in Frizzell for 39 was tough. Positives, we managed to get Kohler's 58. So I went for Curdy Falls in number 5, which gave me Kohler's there and Trent Peoples. So I had Hughesy already played in emergency 4, interchange 4, but the double Peoples and Falls got me for Kohler at 6, which was great. So I had Raymond or Ezra in the number 5 one and just got them out of the way and did that one there. So Frizzell 39, the Reynolds 38, both tough ones. Have Garrick in the side, have Burton in the side, have for a long time. But yeah, keeping a hold of Payne Haas was solid, but looks like he's going to be in a bit of strife and could be out for 2 to 3 weeks, which probably means he's a trade out now. And considering we have 8 available, it's not the worst option to be able to upgrade or downgrade him. Madison could be a decent option at about 150k. More expensive, 3k remaining isn't ideal, and we do have 2 cash outs with Curdy Falls and also People. So it'll be interesting to see who we decide to move on from this week. And in terms of amount of players playing, hopefully Peoples does play, but we won't count him at the moment. So we've got 3 on the bench there. We have 4 in McInnes, we have 5 in Papali'i, 6 and 7 Reynolds and Hines, and that leaves us at 7. So probably a 3 to 4 trade number this week for the head-to-head squad. Ranked at 124 is obviously okay, but we'd like a nice top 100 finish for this team. And where we're looking to go from here is just building that final squad. So we do have the Cook, Burton, Hines combo there, which is great. Papali'i as well, Tedesco, To'o and Garrick, which is lovely down the bottom. What we're going to be needing over the next few weeks is a Cleary, potentially a Madison, like we spoke about. Madison and Murray obviously has been scoring better, but to be able to pick up Madison for round 17 could be great. But Murray there, he's sitting at a 7 higher average than Madison and is 11k cheaper, which is very interesting. And he's going to be a guy we look to pick up, potentially guys like DCE as well. But overall, pretty happy with the team setup. It's just going to be getting Cleary at some point. So that lower score is going to be very helpful to bring down that price just a little bit for Mr. Cleary. But we'll jump in now and have a look at the leagues that I'm in for the head-to-head. Because as I said, the goal here is to be able to win the head-to-heads and also do really well in an overall rank, which I know a lot of people are trying to do, playing their mates, try and beat them, but also do really well overall also. So that's the plan here. The head-to-head thrillers is actually a tough one. We're sitting 4th in that one, but generally in everything else except for the Phantom Broncos, which got a nice win, and the Cunning Stunts, the 3rd in those 2. So all of the leagues, we're sitting in the top 4, which is lovely. You got a couple of the leagues here that we don't have any fixtures in round 17, with a bunch of them continuing to play, which is very, very interesting here. So a decent amount of close matchups here with 888 versus 878, 888 versus 883, lost in the Payne and Haas Rugby League Football Club there. Got me. But that's it, guys. Let me know your general thoughts on the 3 teams and what you might do, what you're looking to do in your sides. And we'll obviously go through a bunch of videos over the next few weeks, over the next few days, to help you guys sort out what you're going to do in your sides and give you a clear picture heading into the final sort of 8 to 10 rounds there. How many are there? 8, 9. To finish off this year. I hope you have the best day, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe. I appreciate it so much, and catch you in the next video.